Good evening, trustees, friends, and neighbors, and some new folks I've never met in my life, but I know that you're here because you love Manteno. Right. So welcome, everyone. My name is Annette Lamore. I was born and raised in Manteno. I'm 74 years old now, so I've seen a lot more change than all of you who are sitting here. I heard about this battery plant on the Valley on August the 23rd, and I was so shocked that I immediately sat down and decided I've got to contact somebody. So the first people I contacted were the trustees. I sent them a text, and I told them I had major concerns about health and safety, and I asked them to vote no on this, and I said, please at least let me know that you got my text. And I'm sorry to say nobody responded to me. A few days later, after talking to a lot of friends, I realized that we need to do something. I contacted the mayor and said, are there any informational meetings that we can attend? Because I have questions about safety and health. And Mayor Nugent responded to me right away and said, there are no informational meetings that I am aware of. Then I found out there was something going on at the plant, and you know, some people showed up there. I was out of town that weekend, but we haven't had the opportunity to help make this decision. And we all live here, or most of us do, some are out of town, but we feel like we should be helping make this decision. This is our town. I called the fire chief, Scott O'Brien, had a nice conversation with him. He was very open. He tried not to take sides, and he said anytime I wanted to talk to come over and see him. But we agreed that lithium is very dangerous, it's highly flammable, it's combustible, and it can be hazardous. Last night, I had the opportunity to listen to a really interesting radio show, which some of you may have picked up. It was on at 7 o'clock last night. It was 5:60 a.m. Jeannie Ives had a presentation, and it was all about Manteno and about this factory. And her guest speaker was Jim Carafano, who is an author of a book called Brutal War. He graduated from West Point. He spent 25 years in his military career. He worked for Homeland Security on 2 different turns. He is a professor of military history. And he talked about working in the Pentagon during the Clinton era. And here's what he said. Gotion is a CCP-controlled, or a CCP organization, which means Chinese Communist Party. And he said that China wants to dominate the world. Their plan is to diminish, marginalize, and destroy America.
Could you go ahead and wrap it up, please?
I'll pick up where you left off.
All right. He said, what's happening in Manteno is we are funding our enemies. Now, I'm going to tell you something personal that happened to me over the weekend. I went to a golf outing at Oak Springs, and it was attended by 200 golfers. There were probably 400 people there, a lot of volunteers, a lot of veterans. They had the color guard ceremony, they had the flags, they played the Star Spangled Banner.
Can you wrap up? Your time is up.
It is up, okay. I just want to say, all of our ancestors who fought in our wars to keep us free would be turning over in their graves and would be so disappointed in us.
The next commenter is Diane Cinnamon of 5266 West 9000 Road in Manteno.
I don't have a formal speech prepared, but I have been resided in Manteno, the rural Manteno, since I was 5, moved away for a few years, and now I've been back as a resident since '99 out in rural Manteno on 9000. I'm a nurse, and I have a lot of health concerns about these toxic chemicals that are going to be brought in to make these batteries for the people that work there, our community, leaching into the water. Do you think they're going to tell us if they have an accident or a spill and have their company shut down? No. Pregnant women aren't going to be able to work there, or women of childbearing years. This is going to affect everybody in the community, birth defects. If you care about the town and the community and people, this shouldn't be happening. My aunt worked at Gold Battery. She died in her 40s from cancer from that factory. So I have a lot of concerns about this. Appreciate listening.
Thank you. Next commenter is Diana Baker, 2921 Chippewa Drive in Bourbonnais.
Hello, I'm here as a resident of Kankakee County. I'm a native of Manteno, and I'm here as an American patriot. Our elected officials are supposed to be working for us and protecting our interests. I would also hope they possess ethics and morals to do their job well as the realization that money isn't everything. It's nothing short of a kick in the face to ask all of us, the county taxpayers, to help fund a communist, Chinese-owned battery plant and put up our own tax money, our natural resources, and our own health as collateral. I'm especially disgusted to see the members of so many local boards of the local taxing bodies, such as the library, township, KCC, the ones you mentioned earlier, that all these board members were willing to vote for such a debacle. I feel that obviously none of them did the research, or they would have realized this plant is highly toxic to the environment, dangerous to its workers, and can use possibly 830,000 gallons of water a day, threatening our local creeks and rivers and aquifers. No amount of jobs or money are worth the cost to our health and well-being. And any true American realizes that the Constitution calls for us to protect our sovereignty. Putting a polluting communist Chinese battery factory in the heart of America within 25 miles of a nuclear facility is reckless, dangerous to the health of the people, and in my opinion, nothing short of treasonous. We are all here in We are all here in Manteno because we love the small town atmosphere, and I feel like you have now sold us out. I am disgusted that every one of you has allowed this into our community, and if you don't fix this, shame on all of you.
Great. The next commenter is Francine Fatima, 1199 Fawn Circle.
Good evening, all. My husband and I have lived here 19 years, and I have to say it's been a wonderful 19 years. But the future doesn't look as bright. I do not see how a person who's the head of the Economic Alliance and mayor of Manteno could sell out the community. This is a communist organization, Gotion. Everything, communists control everything in China, and they're hoping to do it here. Little by little, step by step, the march is on, coming to mid-America. I object to any concurrence in this body to vote for, which I'm not sure if there's been a vote in favor of having this company come in here. I'm very upset, trying to keep my cool here, and I do hope that I see all kinds of people here that are, and you know yourself, people don't want to come out. People don't want to speak up. They don't want to give their name. They're afraid. This is a free country, and people are still afraid of being hurt, put in jail. There's all kinds of things happening in this country which are not good, but there's so much more that's better. I'm just sorry that I had to come here and speak because I'm a mother, a grandmother. I have a wonderful husband, he's 91. We've had a beautiful life here, and I expect that it's not going to be as beautiful anymore if this vote goes through. Thank you.
The next commenter is Bob Forsyth, 376 West 8th Street.
You know, I guess the biggest part is, why was it kept so secret? Why was nothing ever said? And the other thing is, I remember being here at one of the last meetings, or watching it, and you had said, Tim, you spoke to every trustee individually before it got voted on for the taxes. Did you guys know what you were voting for? Did you know it was this battery plant? That's what I'd like to know. Or did you guys just cast a vote? Because if you did and you didn't know what you were voting for, there's something wrong. I mean, the whole deal. And how you can sit here and tell us what we need in Manteno. You can tell us that we need this battery plant. But you don't know. Look at the people that are here tonight. This is exactly why you didn't publicize it. You think the news, and even the Chicago news media, they're not covering this. Nobody's covering this. It was on, my buddy of mine, his wife saw it at 4:30 on a Friday, after that thing at Gotion, over there at Kmart. They saw it at 4:30, and I looked, I was going to watch it again later, and it never came back on. How come it's so quiet? Why is it secretive for you? And it's not good for us. If it was, if you'd be ranting all over the place. So I don't get it. But I'd like to know how many people knew what they were voting for.
Not going to raise no hands.
I mean, can we get a raise of hands? Yeah, that might be a good idea. It's not a question, it's an answer. And you know, the other thing is, you did know?
It was discussed, yes.
Okay, Diane, I have a question for you also.
You're not.
Bob, this is not a question and answer. This is a comment.
This is a comment.
Your turn to comment.
This is a comment.
Don't feel compelled that we got you.
You personally didn't want the ice cream truck in town because it was a safety factor to our children, but yet you don't have a problem with the battery plant. So, and you had the same problem with an ice cream truck. Give me a break. An ice cream truck. This is absolutely, you guys should be, you personally, Tim, should be ashamed of yourself working with J.B. Pritzker, because he's another one that can't be trusted, and you can't be trusted either. Because I don't believe anything that comes out of your mouth anymore.
Thank you. The next commenter is Bill Barnes, 170 East Division Street.
I have no formal speech. Good evening. I think obviously you're in a tough spot. Everybody's in a tough spot. Growth is good. However, obviously people before me stated the facts. And I think obviously from a fire protection standpoint, lithium burns a lot hotter. Typically Teslas, when they catch on fire, God forbid, my kids have one, they let them burn. So when you have a factory full of lithium batteries, what happens then? And so close to residential, it's a toxic gas. So then what happens to everybody? And as the fire protection, you said they voted on it, they know what it is, but how much more manpower do they have? Most of the jobs that are going to come in here obviously are from out of town. I mean, I know that from experience. You don't have the labor pool, as you know, Tim, from Economic Alliance, from Manteno itself, so people are going to be coming from out of town. So that's not really creating new jobs for Manteno people or even Kankakee County. So, you know, I just wonder if that was considered, and, you know, good luck. That's all I can say. Thanks.
The next commenter is Ryan McAfee, 649 South Poplar Street.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Ryan McAfee. My official title I go by is Sergeant First Class McAfee with the United States Army. I am pretty perturbed tonight. I've only lived here 2 years. I have 7 kids that go to Manteno schools, and I will be moving out of this town. I own a big piece of property here in town as well. Sir, Mr. Nugent, you swore an oath to the Constitution, did you not, when you were Chief of Police? Can you answer that question at least? You swore an oath against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Is that correct? Can't answer that? Okay, understood. Got it. So, but I swore that oath. I went to Iraq. I fought for your freedoms, and here you are, pissing on it. Pardon my language. It's BS. So I'm here tonight to put you on notice, sir. You are done after this. You are done. Same with you, trustees. You are done. I'm going to make sure of it. Do you understand? I hope you do. That's all I got.
The next commenter is George Reichert, 530 South Poplar Street.
I'm a little slow. Take me 3 minutes to get to the podium.
All right, no problem.
30 years ago, I chose to move to this community. I could have gone to the West Coast, East Coast, and I thought this was a nice little community. I like what you did on Main Street. It's great for the grandkids, everybody. But I just wanted to say, with this battery plant, you guys are doing the wrong thing. I've been in the chemical industry 36 years, and I know a lot of stuff that goes on that you don't know that goes on. So I just want to let you know, I'm not in favor of it, and that's why I came here tonight.
The next commenter is Ron Van Dyke, 326 Park Street.
As a millwright, you know, I work in and around these facilities, help set them up, maintain them. There's nothing clean about them. If you did a walkthrough and they look clean, they cleaned it up for you. The repercussions that are going to come for building this plant to our ecosystem, our local fauna, flora, groundwater pollutions for the Kankakee Valley aquifers, you're not going to see that for another 20, 30 years. So it's not you guys, it's not your kids, maybe your grandkids are just going to be affected by this. And I grew up in this town, I moved here, I went to school here, I have 2 beautiful little girls that I want to go to school in Manteno, and a decision like this makes me not want to buy a house in this town. And I can tell you from the talk around, anybody I know who's in the area looking to buy in this town, it ain't going to happen now. That this plant goes through, you might see tax money come in. It's going to create jobs. All those places that you listed earlier, you're going to see a crazy amount of tax money come in. The town's going to be swimming in cash. But as was stated, most of the workers are going to be out of state, or at least out of the area.
Out of country.
And you're probably going to see people moving out. I get the Valley wants a shot in the arm economically, and we need it. It's true. And this is a big shot in the arm economically. But at what cost? Is it really worth it? All your young people are going to just leave. And what are you going to be left with? A battery plant that might succeed in 10 years, you know, for the people who can't afford EVs. So that's all I got.
Thank you. The next commenter is Carrie Walsh, 683 Sandburg.
Hello. I'm a citizen of Manteno, and I am disgusted by what is going on here. I want all of you to think about this. Is this worth lining your pockets with money? This is the CCP. We all know that was a red flag. And then I found out about this 2 weeks before that Friday where you had the meeting at the Kmart thing. And someone mentioned to me out of town, I'm like, what are you talking about? I pretty much follow stuff. I may not be at these meetings, but I follow a lot. And I was disgusted. Number one, China? Really? The CCP? That's your first red flag. Then, how many people from China are going to come here and work? And how many Americans are going to get the jobs that live here? It's God bless the United States of America. We should be supporting America, not bringing them in. Why are we giving them such tax cuts? If anything, they're from another country. They should be paying full tax if this is so great. Like, we should have balloons through the town if this is so great. If it's so quiet, it makes me wonder, what is really going on behind the scenes? Each and every one of you, you should lay on your pillow tonight, and I want you to think about what's going on. Every one of you. Look at me. You guys can at least look at me in the face. Because you know, when I went to Gotion, I went there to protest on that Friday. And I walked up. I didn't know if they'd let us in. And you know what? As I walked back to my car, because they said go over there, I was saying to people, please say no, this isn't good. Do you know, every single person looked down at the ground once I said something. They were, That made me wonder, why are they staring at the ground? Why wouldn't you just be like, oh, if you support something, you'd be like, okay, there's a crazy lady walking by. When you look down, there is something. There's people I knew that were standing outside there. They saw me, they looked down. Why? What is going on? There's hiding here. I mean, you know that the battery stuff is not good. We all know that. Everyone's saying the same thing. But just please lay on your pillow at night and think about it. Think about what you guys just passed. Really. Like, make me understand that. If I know you guys can't answer questions, but please make me understand why you voted this way. Why is this so good?
I mean,
Really? We want to know, we the people want to know why this is so great. Why it was hidden and why no one's really talking about it. Why is it so hush-hush? Except for everybody going through, like other towns, like, oh my gosh, blah, 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 blah. It's all the talk. They're like, oh, we feel bad for you. You know what I mean? They won't put it on our media. Why? Because they know it's bad. Mainstream media, we all know what they're reporting. Did Pritzker do something? Did Pritzker make you do this? I don't understand. Please, please, make me and everybody here understand. You know what I mean? I don't know how you could think China, who's our enemy, could be doing good business with us. I just don't get it. Please, you guys, when you put your head in your pillow, think about it. Some of us have kids that are grown. But maybe your kids are grown, but people have kids that are young here. You know, I have the option, I can move out because my kids aren't in school. Well, anybody can move out. But please, make me and everybody else understand. Thank you.
The next commenter is Stephanie Cravens, I believe, Cravens?
Hey, Stephanie, can you turn
Of 355 Jefferson.
Down this way? Yeah. Hear me? Good. Thank you. To elaborate on Ms. Lamore over here, Gotion is directly related to the CCP, and they are a part of an organization that is involved with stealing trade secrets.
Terrorism.
And they have now begun to, they're in cahoots with Volkswagen, but they're slowly diminishing their voting rights to take the whole precedent over it. What I don't understand is the CCP is our biggest adversary, and why would allow them here in the United States to take more of a stronghold than what they already have. If this isn't the time to be steadfast against this, I don't know what other time is in this nation's culture and right now. I just don't understand it. Why would we permeate this? If you permit it, you promote it. That's all I have to say.
The next commenter is Ron Brown of 445 Jan Drive.
Hello. Most of my concerns have been addressed. Everybody's been pretty good. They've got excellent points. My main point is that flag back there, and she's displaying it right there. Yeah. That's the #1 thing here. Yep. What's going on with America? I mean, what you're doing is, it's against everything you stood up for when you said the Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah. You do not believe what you say. What you're doing here, it goes against American standards. You invite our enemy into our very backyard and expect these people to raise their children. I've been here for 3 years, and I'm looking to move. I'm getting out of the state. That governor that was up here, he sold us out too. Every single one of us. If this goes on, you don't do anything to stop it, it's on you. It's on you.